sorry. I haven't had coffee.
Everybody, thank you all so much for being so patient. We were running about 10 minutes late. We were running into all sorts of technical issues. You probably saw two 45-second lives this morning. So thank you for bearing with us. I don't know exactly what happened. I think there was like issue with Zoom or me or both. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. It's always wonderful to have you. And I have my very special friend and special guest who is a good friend of mine, So Becca. She's going to join me this morning, and we are going to try and put clue 2 of the Village Green puzzle mystery quilt together in about 45 minutes, because at 9 o'clock I need to turn this off and go get my hair cut. So because somebody scheduled it a little earlier in the morning than they should have had. So we'll make it work. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you all for joining. I think we're all on the same stream.
We are. That was totally my non-caffeinated, have not had a first cup of coffee brain not working this morning. So
it's not just me. Okay,
no.
So let's just see who's here real quick and who has actually bared with us. And I love you all forever. Nancy is here. Good morning. Martha is here moderating for me this morning. Thank you so much. Orca Quilter GA is here with us. Kayla Quilt, good morning. Christine, she's my enabler. She finds me all the cool patterns. And I love her for that. Is here. Kathy Klein, Evelyn Blanco, Paula Whedon, Pat Strawhouse, who's still probably falling out up there in Canada. Denise Beck, Cynthia Marie Field, Donna Dixon, Fallon from So Be It Quilts is joining us this morning. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I think we said Donna Dixon already. Kayla Quilts, Lucy Scott, Debbie Dunn. I think I got everybody, but if I missed someone, I do apologize. Being late is something I just,
Your mind's still a little frazzled from it. There were a couple other folks in the chat, but most importantly, I don't know if you saw her, Donna was in the chat helping out with some of the moderating stuff. So just want to give her a huge shout out for that too.
Oh, Donna's awesome. She does a wonderful job for me, and I appreciate her more than she'll ever probably know. So, right. So the reason we are here is we are going to put together as much as we physically can, because we did start just a hair late. Clue 2 of the Village Green Puzzle Mystery Quilt by Cotton Cuts, and I am doing the lavender colorway, which is these beautiful colors right here. And Becca is doing a different one, and I can't remember which one it is.
For my personal sew, I am doing Bluebell. So the main one that I'm doing is Begonia, which is a beautiful batik. But I love the puzzle mystery quilts so much that this time around, I decided to do what I am calling a personal sew. I am recoining the phrase selfish sew because that has such a negative connotation to it. I'm now calling that personal sew. So a viewer mentioned that I shouldn't use the term selfish sew, and I started pondering that. And I was like, you're right. I shouldn't. I'm allowed to have time for me. So my personal sew is the Bluebell colorway in the size large, and I'll show you the color wheel here. That kind of goes with a lot of it's blues, but it's also very neutral, and it almost kind of goes with the decor in our home. So I feel like this will be a really nice quilt to throw over the couch in our living room.
Oh, absolutely. And it's one of those things where I guess I think I just don't have the time to do anymore. But a lot of people pick up 2, 3, 4. It's kind of like potato chips. It's hard just to get one. So you're definitely not alone getting the second one. I've really pondered doing another one, and I was just like, I just don't have time. By the time I get everything else done, it's going to be crazy to get one done, let alone 2. So if you're signed up, I would love to know in the chat. And if you are not, and you're sitting on the fence about this, don't sit on the fence very much longer. They did tell us a week or 2 ago that when Clue 3 ships out, which is in early April, they're going to close up the sign up. So if you're thinking about it, jump off the fence, go over and head over and sign up and grab your favorite colorway, because once they sell out, they sell out. So definitely grab the one that you want now, because you may not get a chance in a couple of weeks. So if you're waiting for payday, once payday hits your account, run over to Cotton Cuts and grab your, and they'll catch you up. Like if you sign up this week, you'll get clues 1 and 2 together, so you get caught up and you can catch up with us. So let's see, did I miss anything? probably did, and I apologize for that. And I personally love the idea of personal sew as well. Um, Pretty much everything I do is personal. I do it because I enjoy it. But I know you do a lot of stuff with like Fat Quarter Shop and other companies as well.
Yeah.
And then as a recap, this is clue one that I did last month with Beth.
Mhm.
And that's what I want to do each month is I want to sew a clue on a live with somebody. So whether it's another content creator, another ambassador for Cotton Cuts, or just, whether it's a viewer. I've already got people lined up for about half of the clues already, which I think is really, really neat. So let's go ahead and get started. Nancy says she is 11 to go with Sean. Also got the thread, the oops kit, and also the extra border kit that they have. And that's also something else to bring up. They do sell coordinating thread, which is really neat. They have an oops kit, so that way if you make a boo-boo, you can just cut it out and keep on going. And then there's an extra border kit. I'm doing the small, which is about 45 by 60. And I find that's like it's a nice lap size quilt as well.
Yep. Yep. I think the 45 by 60s, I was thinking about this the other day. My 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 father-in-law was in a wheelchair the last year or so of his life. Those 45 by 60s might be a really good quilt for like a wheelchair because they're not terribly long. It's just basically, like you said, a lap quilt. So I was thinking that might be a good wheelchair quilt.
I had not thought of that, but that is an excellent idea. So, and then last month, several somebody suggested to me that they get organized and put everything together, like because the lavender is so similar in colors that I had trouble telling them apart. So I actually went ahead last night and put like each step of each clue together, so that way I can kind of just, whoops, drop them all over the place. You have these days where you just like should have just stayed in bed, and I'm thinking today's one of those days. So
Oh, well, you have a chance to turn it around. You have a chance to turn it around.
yeah,
You'll
it's
get,
been an absolute mess. Okay, all right.
listen, you're gonna leave in a little bit. You're gonna get your hair cut. You're gonna feel good about yourself. It's gonna be great. You're
Yep,
gonna have a good day, despite the technology.
yep, we will. It's just
It's a good thing that the live wasn't working when I joined because at 7:47, I'm laying there and I'm starting to wake up and I'm like, it's Saturday. Oh yeah, Jason didn't go work out, so he's home. Oh yeah, I have the SOYAC class today. Oh, good. The alarm was shut. Race downstairs so freaking quick. I was afraid I was gonna be late. Well, I was late because I told him I'd be here at 7:45, but it was fun. The first words I said, I don't know if you heard him, Sean. I was like, this is what you get at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday.
it's all good, and it's early, and I understand. Like I'm a morning person, and it's not for everybody.
Hey, I don't mind. I think it's great.
And so how's Bubba doing this morning?
Bubba is behaving, so maybe he doesn't have to go to timeout. I still think Bubba deserves a spa day. So, what I'm gonna probably do is, I hate. I think what I'm probably gonna do is in between, like after we get off our live, the quilt shop that I take my machines to opens at 9:30 or 10. So after I get off of our live, I'm so sorry, I'm still half asleep.
Oh, you're
After we
fine.
get your live, I think I'm gonna just pack him up and take him in for a spa session. He'll probably be out of commission for a couple of weeks. And I'll bring the baby lock up, set her up on the tabletop and just work on her. And I'll do my class on the baby lock.
Excellent. So who else besides me last night after watching Becca go through all those issues cleaned out their sewing machine? Because I can tell you, I figured, you know what, it's been a while. I couldn't remember how long it had been since I did it. And I was like, well, if you're asking yourself when was the last time and you don't remember, the answer is probably too long. So I did go ahead and clean mine out. it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be honest.
You know, I literally don't think that I don't know if the issues I was having last night were from the machine being dirty. I think there's something else that's going on. I think it's dirt or fuzz or something that I can't quite get to. I think that's causing the issue.
Right.
So I think it's time for a professional to take the whole thing apart and do a really good deep clean. And honestly, Tiffany does that to her own machines. This is an entirely mechanical machine. I feel like I could probably do it myself,
Yeah.
but I'm lazy and I have other things to do, so I'll take it and let somebody else do it.
Yeah, it's an opportunity cost thing. Like if you can do it and you have the time, then yeah, save the money and do it. But yeah, if you can just pay someone to do it, then
I've got a backup machine that's actually a pretty good machine, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's totally be fine.
all right. So that's the first part. So we're actually making some progress on this.
Woo woo.
All right, Janet asked, did I start early today? Yes, I did by accident. We were having some issues. I was trying to get connected and get everything set up because normally what happens for anyone that doesn't do live streams is you set up your Zoom or whatever it is, and then there's kind of like a waiting room in YouTube Studio, and then you get to click the go live button when you're ready to go. And for some reason, that button was being clicked automatically. And so, yeah, there was like 3 or 4 miniature streams where you probably just saw me doing whatever I was doing. So yes, yes and no. All right, so I've done step 1. Now what was I doing next? Okay, D, step 2A. All right.
Yeah, you got to be careful with this one. Make sure that the placement of your triangles is correct.
Oh yeah, I'm being extra cautious. I was very lucky last time around with the Benet colorway where the colors were so different. It was super easy to figure it out. So my suggestion to anybody is if you haven't done this before and you're a brand new quilter and or you're a beginner, get one that has a wide variety of like high contrast.
Yep.
Like don't do, it's not hard, but if you're not used to dealing with multiple colors on a pattern and that sort of thing there, start with a high contrast one like the poppy or even the begonia. I think would be in that wheelhouse to an extent. I can't think of the others.
Bluebell seems to have a lot of really good contrast. And I don't know enough about the other colorways to know which ones do and don't. You're just going to want to look at that color wheel and make sure you don't have too many of the same type of color. So like with lavender, you'll look at the color wheel and all you see is purple because
Yeah,
it's a purple color wheel. Maybe shy away from that one if you're a beginner.
yeah. I mean, they're beautiful. And it's not super hard, but if you're a beginner or easily frustrated, yeah, I would say the high contrast would be the way to go. All right, Chloe says she messed up and has to take out our best friend, whose name we will not mention because he is the last person I want to see this morning.
I was like, who? And then I read the comment and I was like, oh.
Yeah, we're not mentioning it because if he comes out this morning, we may turn this into a like a sit and chat.
I had to do that last night. I got to the point where I was just done.
Yeah. Yeah, I put a comment in there last night. It said, tonight on Sobecker, we have sewing this project and how to clean your Juki.
There's a couple of comments. Daffodil has a good contrast, Kayla says.
Mhm.
Somebody else I think said Poppy does as well, so you were right on that.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, Fallon wants to know when is the So Yeah event? It is at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And I think you can still sign up for that Zoom class if you haven't done so already. Quiltessa said, what about setting up some time to do embroidery? Are you serious? Are we playing this game now?
Well, don't look at me because I don't have an embroidery machine.
I do not have an embroidery machine, so it would be hand embroidery for me.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, I'm just going to pay someone to do that. I mean, I would I've thought embroidery fun to do and everything else, but by the time I spent the money and everything else, I could pay someone to make a lot of embroidery for me.
Well, that's we all do you have to, I can't talk. I was going to say what I'm trying to say is with the hand embroidery stuff, there are more efficient ways to do it, and you'll definitely get better quality stuff out of a machine. But the thing that I like about it is it gives me something to do with my hands when I can't be in my sewing room. I always fidget. I always have something I need to fidget with. So the hand embroidery is a nice portable project for me to work on. And I am very much a beginner. I am also very, very slow, but I'm having fun learning.
That's the main thing. Is I mean, at the end of the day, this is our fun time. This is our hobby time. So I mean, you've got to do what makes you happy. All right. So that is steps 1, 2, and 3. So actually, we're rocketing along pretty well so far. We have not had to bring out our friend. Okay, let's see. Number 4.
Dang, you are ahead of me.
Yeah, well, I'm doing a small, so I kind of cheat.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, I'm still working on like 3. Never mind.
Yeah, both people that I've done it with so far have been doing the large. Thank you. Need my pattern to come back. Yeah. Janet says you need a fidget quilt.
Probably. Maybe I'll turn this into a fidget quilt.
I think one of these days I need to go ahead and jump on the whole hexie bag bandwagon.
I like basting the hexies. I have not tried sewing them.
Right, that's what I mean, like basting them and getting them ready, as a hand project. But yeah, we'll see. All right, where did my magic sheet go? Oh, that's B and that's D. I know that much.
Denise said she signed up but didn't get the Zoom link yet. I would reach out to the store. I don't know if I have the Zoom link. Email me, send me an email, and if I can find the Zoom link, I'll see if I can get it over to you. But you might want to try calling the store as well.
All right. So the nice thing about these that I like is that normally it takes about 45 minutes or so to sew one of these glues. Would you say that's correct with yours?
Yeah, for the most part. Sometimes you'll get that's an average, right? Sometimes you get a clue that'll take longer, a little bit longer. Sometimes it'll take a little bit less. But for the most part, if you when you get your little package in the mail, if you sit down for and really just dedicate yourself for half an hour to an hour, you'll have your clue sewn up, ready to go.
That's the nice thing is like once you get it in the mail, you just take it out and you can start sewing. I love that it's pre-cut. Like you're not having to sit there and pull out all your rulers and cut and all that mess too. It's just if I come home from work sometimes and I just want something simple and easy to do. This is well, now I'm doing all lives, it's not so much, but last year when I did it, it was just nice to do that.
That's what I meant by personal sew. I think everything we do should be something that we want to do, even if we're doing it as a collab for another shop or another content creator. If the fabric or the pattern doesn't bring you joy, then there's really no point in creating it, because you're just creating to create. You should create something that makes you happy. When I was talking about the personal sew stuff earlier, what I mean by that in my world, what a personal sew is it's something I'm excited about making, but I have no obligations to make social media content with that item. I'm just making that item to make the item. So no live streams, no recording, no posts, no nothing. If I want to share it, I can, but I am not required to do so at all. And I don't commit to doing it.
Right. And that's great. I mean, I love that you have that. And like even with mine, I feel like for the vast majority, with I think the exception of this and then the occasional collab I do, I try very hard not to have a deadline because I don't want to be rushed.
Yeah.
I get rushed enough at work.
Are we going to, should we talk about what's going to come up next month in May?
I was going to ask if you wanted to. Why don't you let the
Oh,
team?
no, this was your harebrained idea. You tell them.
Okay. Pepper and I have been talking a little bit, and you know, we do different things together. You know, we've done this, and I've been on her channel, and she's come on the Brekkie, the guy who sews. But I don't think her and I have ever done a collab together.
That's true.
And I've, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Elizabeth Hartman and Art East projects. The like the Koala Quilt and the Mythical Darksons, the Wizard of Oz. And Becca's always been talking about that she's always wanted to do one of those projects, but never has taken the plunge. So I was like, okay, how about you and I do one together?
Yay.
So I figure we need to push her off the fence because she's been sitting happily up on that fence drinking a coffee or whatever for way too long. It's time to nudge her off the fence and say, okay, come on, I'll do it with you. So we talked about patterns, and we are going to do, and I don't have a picture of it, unfortunately, handy. You might. We are going to do the pandas in sweaters pattern by Elizabeth Hartman, and we got to start this in May, right?
Yeah, I think the 1st of May around then. So we're telling you now because that gives you 6 weeks to get the pattern and pull your fabric and get everything ready. I'm not planning to do tutorial videos, but I am planning to share my progress in my Tuesday videos. Sean, what are you going to do on your end?
I'm just going to show it on my weekly podcast. We can't show tutorial videos because Elizabeth Hartman owns the rights to all tutorials. I've already asked that question because people asked me last year about the koala quilt if I could do tutorials, and I reached out to her, and she personally emailed me back the next day, which I thought was really, really nice. But she said, yeah, she owns all the copyrights and everything else to tutorials and everything else. So sadly, I couldn't do that. Chloe says that's one she's been thinking about. Yeah, hop on over, grab the pattern. I'm going to pull mine from Stash. I mean, it's basically white, black, some sort of background fabric of your choice. And then the sweaters can be whatever. I mean, Becca has some beautiful, I think it's batiks that she's going to use for her sweaters. And I'm going to go what I call dumpster diving and pull out of my scrap stash and just make some beautiful sweaters out of scraps. You know, it may be solids, it may be batiks, it may be something else. Who knows? I don't know at this point. I mean, I've still got 6 weeks to figure it out. So the pattern is I think it was $10 if you buy the PDF on her website. And a lot of quilt shops sold her patterns as well. So yeah, grab it and absolutely join us. It's the beginning of May. I think, yeah, like we said, we'll just do weekly updates on our respective podcasts and we'll see how they all come together because they got to look different because we'll probably end up using different backgrounds and different sweaters as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, we are super excited and to do this, and this is the first time anyone's hearing of this, so yeah, you get the tea spilt first.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of fun, and you've got another collab with Stephanie coming up too, so you're really starting to lean into this whole collab thing.
I absolutely love connecting with other content creators and just doing different things with them. I am in the middle of doing that project. I have a million of these cut out.
Oh, geez.
And then there's some finished blocks around here somewhere. I don't know where they disappeared to. I'll probably put them away like a good boy. Okay.
See when you're done.
Yep. Otherwise, you just get piles and piles of stuff. Yeah, so I've got that going on. I'm also going to try and get the Toasty going fairly soon, the dragon. Need to finish my Mythical Darksons, and the Wizard of Oz I'm like still 3 months behind on that. So yeah, busy. Never a dull moment here.
I hear you. I stay pretty, it's hard to find any downtime, like, I don't know. I feel busy too. There's
Yeah,
always so many balls that you're juggling, you know?
yeah, but again, like this is stuff we enjoy. Like I just do it when I can. I try not to, like I was saying earlier, I try not to have a firm deadline.
Makes sense.
Because then
Pandas
it,
and sweater. Cool Tessa said, I see pandas and sweaters, not koalas. Yeah, it's pandas and sweaters, but I mean, if you just put some eucalyptus leaves on there, maybe we could call them koalas. Black and
or
white.
you could
Black and white koalas?
now the other option you have too, now, because I saw that comment, I thought that would be really neat, is you could always buy the koala pattern. And then the center part where the body is, you could put a different fabric, change some of those pieces out and make it a sweater, So, I mean, that's definitely doable. And I think that would be a whole lot of fun. Now, Christine did mention in the comments, like as I said, that I can't do tutorials on it. She said maybe do a tutorial on flip and stitch since it's used so much in those patterns. That is a fantastic idea, and that is something I can do quite happily, and I think I should do. So thank you so much for that suggestion. I think I will do that in the very near future. I have a couple of tutorial videos I need to knock out in the near future, so I think I'm just going to add that to my list. How big will the panda quilt be? Good question. I'll have to go look that up. I think it's like a good size lap quilt. Um, Although it's like I think each block's like 20 by 20 or I can't, I'll have to go look it up now because I just don't remember. But this is going to be block 2A on the small. It's all together. So hooray.
Woo woo.
Yeah, let me go look that up real quick. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Because I didn't realize we were announcing this today. Otherwise, I would have been more prepared.
Oh, listen, you are fine. Why don't you keep working and I can get you that information, okay?
Okay. Well, you had the pattern with you, so.
I do. I just got to go get it.
Okay. Yeah, no, we're super excited to do this together. I'm super excited that Becca's jumping off the fence and actually doing a Elizabeth Hartman project with me. So, okay, Lucy says the largest 66 by 72.
Yep.
All
There are
right.
3 sizes on the pattern, which I'm holding up on the screen for you now. You can see it here. There are 3 sizes that you can make. You can make a pillow, which I believe is just one panda, and it'll measure 24 inches by 24 inches. So the blocks are going to be really big on this. You can make a small, which is going to measure 46 by 50 inches, and that would be 4 pandas. Or the full size will be 9, and that's 66 by 72. So a few options for you. And of course, you can always make it your own. So if you want it even bigger than that 66 by 72, you could toss more pandas in there. The blocks are going to finish at 24 inches squared.
Yeah. So you can just make it as big or as small as you want, just by, like Becca said. So, yeah, and they're saying that the pattern is $10 USD for the PDF version, which is what I normally do. That way I have it instantly. And I usually just put my pattern up on a computer screen in front of me. So that way it's right there in front of me rather than trying to keep up with 50 pieces of paper. And the thing I love about her patterns is that she writes them so well. Like they're very beginner, like they look scary, but they are very beginner friendly. They are very user friendly and that sort of thing there as well. So don't let it scare you. Good morning, Teresa Elise. It's good to see you here with us this morning. I saw Janice from the Right Way hopped in a little bit earlier. I probably missed a bunch of people and I apologize. Hard to keep up with everybody, and especially when you get frazzled when you're late. I don't know how the people that are always late to everything survive. I guess they're used to it. I'm always one of those people that are annoyingly early to everything. But that's the next part.
That's my husband too. He's early for everything. My stepdad's like that a lot. my stepdad will be a half an hour early so that he doesn't have to be 2 minutes late.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially like if you live in a big like metro area, you kind of have to be that way because you never know if that 10-minute trip's going to take you 10 minutes or 110 minutes.
That's true.
So I'd love to know when my, oh, there it is.
Is that
20
right?
minutes to finish this. Let's see if I can do it.
This is not right.
I think I can. I like the little engine.
Yeah, I'm already making mistakes. I got my fabric placed wrong. Fortunately, I don't think I have to do too much seam ripping, but this may prove too early for me to really comprehend what the heck is actually going on right now.
Oh,
Ugh.
excellent. Okay, so Rob from Quilting in the Man Cave said, Sean, I took your advice and posted my first video. It's not great, but it's there. I am so proud of you for taking that first step. You know, I think anyone that wants to do a channel should do it. And making that first video and putting it out there for the world to see is one of the hardest things I think a lot of us will ever do. So that is awesome. I'm going to go check that out as soon as I get a chance. And, you know, your first video is not going to be the greatest thing on earth. It never will be. You will improve over time. I mean, I go back and look at my first video and go, good gravy, what was I doing? But, you know, you get better with time. So excellent. All right.
The bot timed out Teresa.
I know. I'm going to. I guess I'm going to change that. I guess it got upset with word, but it's yeah. She said my eyeballs heard it so early. I guess that bot thought that balls was a naughty word.
I mean, in the right context, it is profane language.
When I set up my, I kind of erred on the side of caution and figured I could always adjust it if need be. So I think we'll make that adjustment later on. So
I think it's funny because I don't think I could picture Teresa ever uttering foul language at all.
Even if she uttered it, she's not going to type it. I mean, come on.
Oh, that was funny.
Well, we've all had some early morning entertainment courtesy of Teresa Orlees. And, I think it's awesome that she hit her 3,000 subscriber mark the other day. So thank you for everybody that helped to hit that goal. And the next one we need to get towards a new goal is someone that's getting somewhat close to a 20,000.
Yeah, but am I really the next goal?
Why not?
Well, so hold on. I'm literally trying to think like who else. I think Tucker's close to 5. I think he's closer to 5 than I am 20.
Right. And I mean, I think Donna's probably getting closer to 8. I mean, she's like 7 point something.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the milestone numbers, right? Like when the first milestone is that 1, you got to get to the 1. And then I don't know. I think everybody's milestone's probably different. We need to get you up too, Sean. You're so kind to promote everybody else, but we need to get your numbers up too.
It'll get there. I mean, at the end of the day, my philosophy is, yes, I watch the numbers like a hawk to see how things are going. But as long as the viewers enjoy what I put out there, I don't care what the numbers say. Yes, do I want that magical YouTube plot for 100,000? Absolutely. I'd love to put that in the background. Is it going to happen this year? Probably not. Is it going to happen in 5 or 10 years? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But at the end of the day, I'm here because I love doing it, and I just want the viewers to enjoy it. So whether that's 100 or 1,000 or 22 of them, we'll still be here as long as I enjoy it.
I think that is the exact thing that I would say, right? Like, as long as this is fun and something that I enjoy doing, I'm going to continue doing it. I would love to hit my eventual goal. I would love to have that plaque, and I want the channel to always be something. I love doing what I do. I like making videos. I like doing the live streams because it combines two things that I really like. Well, three things really. I like the tech part of it. I
Hmm.
like the education kind of part of it, though I don't teach as much as just sharing. And I like the quilty part of it. So for me, this is something that's really fun and I look forward to doing. I want it to continue to be fun. And if it's ever not fun, then I'm going to reevaluate whether or not I'm doing it. But at the same time, I also like it when people watch the videos, and I don't want to create content that nobody wants to watch. So if it gets to the point where nobody's watching, I'll reevaluate then too. Hopefully, people continue watching and I continue enjoying it long enough to get the plaque. That's what I would like to do.
Absolutely. All right. So,
Dreams.
yeah, it looks like my friend's going to have to make an appearance here in a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. My friend's already out. He's divorcing all of the fabric.
Apparently, everybody's out. So everyone has Jack out this morning. So we got to just put him to the side for a minute and keep going. We'll come back to him.
Okay. Blessed Trimability says, I still have not received my link for the Soya class today. I've emailed and texted them. What do you suggest? That's your best bet. If you want to try again this morning, maybe call the store, the line for the store when they open. If that still doesn't work, you can email me and I'll see if I can intervene for you. But I don't, this is under their Zoom account, so I don't have any information that I can do for you. Sorry.
Okay.
I know they were having problems with their email service yesterday, so maybe some of the email go out.
I'm sure they'll be up shortly to try and resolve all those.
All right, let's make this 4-patch look the way it's supposed to look. Oh goodness. I got one more seam to rip. You got 13 minutes, Sean. Do you think you're going to have it done?
I think I still got a decent chance of making it.
Okay. I will not.
That's okay. All right. Yeah, because I only got like 6 or 7 more pieces of fabric here that I've got to put together. So even if I got to rip one out, I think I'll be all right. And I'm still being a good boy and doing my ironing.
I keep getting ads in this live stream. Is it only me? That's odd.
Why is it doing that?
Great question. No idea.
It's just been one of those days where anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So
That's not something you've done on your end, so it's a YouTube thing. Yay, YouTube. Oh, one of those days, right?
yep.
Okay, let's put these over in the playpen.
All
Man,
right, let's see. I really don't want to pull this thing out twice. Let's just make sure it's right. Yes, okay. Excellent.
excellent.
Excellent. Well, I really appreciate you joining me this morning, Becca. It's been really nice to have you back on here.
Yeah, I'm half awake, so I hope I'm entertaining. I'm not sure what I'm saying right now.
I have those mornings a lot of times. Don't even worry about it.
Oh man. I didn't set an alarm. I don't know why I didn't set an alarm. I was just like, okay, I'm going to bed. I laid down, I went to sleep. I woke up 5 minutes later than I should have woken up, probably about a half an hour later than I needed or wanted to wake up. And then literally ran through the kitchen, right past Jason, went, I'm late for a Zoom. I gotta go. No coffee, no good morning, no nothing. I'm late for a Zoom. I gotta go.
It happens, don't you know? But you made it on time, and you got here before I did. So, because I was having those other problems. All right. Yeah, I don't know why the ads are coming in. They're not supposed to hop in during live streams, but oh well.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold up. Eh! Okay, that's right. The diagram on my paper that shows you making the 2 patches, when you put it into the 4 patch, it looks different. And I keep looking at the 2 patches, and I'm laying the 4 patch out that way. And then I look down at the diagram for 6-3, where you take those 2 patches and
Right.
turn them into a 4 patch. And I keep turning it, and then I turn it back. Like, I'm playing this game where I keep turning it back and forth, and I don't know what I'm doing. It's because I'm looking at the diagrams differently. Maybe don't do that next time, Taco Pets. Maybe don't do that. All right, there we go. Martha's being funny. She said, "Are you hand sewing?" Yeah, might as well be.
Yep.
She's funny. She got jokes.
Yeah, she's good for that.
Mm.
Yeah, and she's I don't know if you realize this, Becca, but she's actually an ambassador for Cotton Cuts too. She's doing the gnomes.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen her little videos for the gnomes pop up, and I'm like, huh. And then I go over and I look at the gnomes and I add them to my cart. And I do this every month, by the way. I did it in February. I did it again in March. And I'm like, it's not too late to get caught up. I can do all of them. Oh, I want to do a boy and a girl. Oh, yeah. And then I look at the total and I'm like, I got so much other stuff going on. Do I need to spend money on that project? And I put it back.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the gnomes at one point.
Is
I think
that
I'm
going
just
to
gonna
be
do
a thing that they keep doing?
they're doing it all year. So it's gonna be an all 2023 thing. And someone suggested the other day, because I was on her premiere when she showed us the first one,
Mhm.
doing it as a door hanging.
Oh,
You know, like, because I figured I'd like to get one block, and then yeah, someone suggested as a door hanging, and I'm like, I think that's a really, really neat idea. Like, you get like the March one for St. Patrick's Day, and then hopefully they come out with something cool for April for Easter and stuff. And I thought that'd be really neat just to get one. It's like $15, you know, free shipping, and then you can just make it a door hanging. And I thought that was I forget who suggested that, one of the viewers, and I thought that was a really, really neat idea. So I think that's what I might do is I might get a few of them that I like, and then use them as door hangings.
the wall quilt, I'm hearing so much about like door quilts, wall quilts, or like door quilts and door hangings lately. It seems
Yeah,
to be a thing that people are really leaning into.
yeah, because it's smaller. You're not having to deal with, you know, huge amounts of fabric, and especially if you have a small domestic machine. I mean, you can do a wall hanging or a door hanging and not have to worry about it, because you don't need to worry about having a huge long arm or mid arm or anything else like that. So
That one, there we go. I have recovered from the disaster.
well, that's good. All right, let's just make sure I'm doing this the right way. Yes. All right. All right. Marge says she's having audio problems here. The heat is abominable. It's been disgusting all week and knocks up my Wi-Fi. I'll check out now and try and get some sleep. It's almost 11 p.m. Yeah, for some reason, I've heard a lot of my friends in Australia are getting some really wicked heat recently. I mean, it's coming into autumn for them. So, I mean, it should be, yeah, cooling down soon for them, hopefully. But I will tell you, I went down there, it would have been this time of year 6 years ago. Was we normally go during the American summer, so it's wintertime down there, so it's not too bad. Like, 40s, 50s, 60s, most places. And this time we had to go in March, for a funeral. And it had been really cold here in Virginia. And, it was like in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s. And we went down there and it was like 80 and I almost died. It was,
Oh my gosh. Do you think you have lived in here long enough to acclimate to the weather here?
probably, but I think it was more so the fact that I'd been in winter for 3 or 4 months and then you stuck me in the middle of summer.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
is the weather in Australia where you're from, is it comparable to like the Virginia area, just opposite?
For the most part, it's more humid here.
Okay.
Far more
Yes.
humid.
I think that surprised me about like at least the Northern Virginia area, because in Southwest Virginia, the humidity is not as bad as it is in like the Northern Virginia and then of course the East Coast, because you're right on the water right there.
Yeah, I think the water's what does it.
Yeah.
Because you're close to the Chesapeake Bay and the Potomac and all that sort of stuff. And then I'm, close to the Chesapeake Bay and the Atlantic. So I think, yeah, that drives up the humidity in our areas.
I'm pleasantly surprised. So when we moved out of Arlington, which is striking distance to DC, the humidity and heat in Arlington seemed like, and we've only been here for a little over a year, but it seemed like it was a lot worse than where we live now. Where we live now is right off of the Occoquan River, and we're in a wooded area. It's a very rural area where we live. Lots of trees, tons of trees, so lots of shade, but you also have the river running through too. The heat here last summer was not bad, like compared to what we would have had in DC. And I'm just comparing it to that because that's all I have to compare to for Northern Virginia. I wonder if all of the cement and stuff for the buildings and the monuments and stuff in DC help retain that heat. And then you've got the Potomac running right through it too. I don't know.
Yeah, you could be right. Now, the other thing I'm thinking about too is I think the water makes a difference, different bodies of water, because it would have been like 10 years ago now. There was we have a swamp about 5-6 miles south of us, and it caught on fire somehow.
Wow.
Now, how you managed to catch a swamp on fire, who knows? But yeah, so it caught on fire and like it created a lot of smoke. But it was interesting because it depends on how the wind blew a particular day. It could be smoky where I live here, but if I went 4 miles over the river to another part of the area, it was clear as day. And then other days it was the other way around. It was like the river was blocking the smoke. It would go to one side of the river or the other.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was an interesting week because it was kind of like I call like the earth, wind, fire, and sun. We had the fire, then we had an earthquake, and then a hurricane rolled through a couple of days later.
Oh, geez. That's hilarious. Earth, wind, and fire. I see what you did there.
Yeah, so we had all 4 elements.
Hey, you got Lisa Cappan in the chat.
Oh, really? Yes.
You do.
Yes, she was at Mid-Atlantic Quilt Festival, and we tried to run into each other, and we kept missing each other. And she actually lives not that far from me, so I need to get in contact with her really soon and maybe catch up and have coffee with her or something like that. So yeah, I've heard a lot about her. She has a wonderful channel, and I had no clue that she was, fairly local to me. So that is absolutely awesome to hear.
In fact, my friend Mary sends a lot of her quilts down to Lisa to do long arm work for.
Really? Okay, what a small world.
I know.
Yeah.
I've caught a few of her lives. In fact, I'm going to grab her channel and I'll drop it in the chat really quick.
Yeah, no, she does a good job. And yeah, it's neat to have someone that's been very, very successful here, so close by. I think it's awesome.
I pasted Teresa Louise's comment instead of the channel link because it's too early. She said she would love to have coffee with you. You go.
Yeah, I'll definitely get in contact with Miss Lisa shortly, and yeah, we'll organize something fairly soon. I mean, I'd love to sit there and just have a chat to her and get to know her a little better, pick her brain, and that sort of thing there. So
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah, we tried to, apparently a lot of my viewers are asking if she'd met me, and we kept looking for each other, but yeah, it just didn't work out, sadly.
That's okay. There'll be next year, and there will be plenty of months in between for you to grab coffee.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I mean, she's like 20 minutes from me, so it's not like I have to make a huge effort to go see her. So, all right, how am I doing time wise? Oh, geez, I'm out of time.
I quit.
You quit?
I quit. I just sewed the wrong fabric squares together again. I'm not pulling seam ripper out until I have a pot of coffee, because that was like the third time I've had to do it. So my rule is, if I've got to seam rip 3 times, we're just gonna stop for a minute. It's
No,
just gonna.
you're one more than me. I'm twice. If I have to do it twice, then I give up.
I should have
Okay,
stopped
so
too.
B, F, and C. Okay, we got to run just a couple of minutes over because we got to
Okay.
finish it off. We are so close.
You keep sewing. I will read the chat to you so that you can still participate without looking up. Just keep going, Sean. You got it. Everybody's talking about how Lisa's channel is wonderful. And a couple of people want to know if she has settled into her new home yet, because she just moved recently, a few months
Yeah.
ago. Ooh, Lisa loves Occoquan. Have you been to the Occoquan village, Sean?
No.
Town, anyway? Whenever you guys come up, you have to go into Occoquan. It's such a cute little town. They used to have a fabric shop in Occoquan.
Is that like 45 minutes south of like Springfield? Yeah, I think we have been there. And it's like
Well, it's not 45 minutes south of Springfield, but it is south of Springfield. It's probably, well, you do get off maybe close to that. I live probably 15 minutes beyond Occoquan.
yeah, I think we went there one day. I think we went there and got lunch, and we went to a yarn store and everything else because traffic is
Yeah.
horrendous. Yeah, and we figured, well, that's probably why it took me 45 minutes. Um,
That sounds about right.
yeah, it was a Friday. We had to go up to the embassy to get my passport renewed, and yeah, we figured, well, we might as well stop and get something nice for lunch. We found like a cafe or something there. So yeah, if we're talking at the same place, which I think we are, yes, I have been there.
It's absolutely lovely. And I was so excited when we moved here, because I was like, oh, Occoquan is literally 15 minutes down the road. We can go to Occoquan. In fact, there's a bunch of subdivisions, because we're off of the Occoquan River, right? Bunch of
Right.
subdivisions over through here that are called like Occoquan Oaks. So I was like, all right, that's cool. We can go to Occoquan more. And we literally thought, it's so funny how you think you know what's going to happen. We thought we would be going there all the time on the weekends. We avoid it on the weekends because it is so packed.
Oh, I'm
And
sure. Yeah.
go to Occoquan. So we'll go in the evenings.
Yeah, I'll have to go look it up, but I'm pretty sure we're all talking at the same spot.
Yep. Lucy Scott is asking, I was in Massanutten in August. That's a nice area. Are you near there? Yeah, that's about an hour and a half west of us. And my husband was born and raised in Harrisonburg, Virginia, which is just south of
Yep.
Massanutten.
Yeah, I am about 4 hours from Massanutten. I know where it is. I've been there. I've skied there. But I haven't been there in quite some time. Okay, let's see if I got this right. Yes, and then we slap this together, and then we call it done.
Oh, Lisa said she hasn't moved yet. I thought she did already. My bad.
No, so we're all learning new stuff. Okay, let's see. Come on.
I don't remember where she's moving to. It's still in the same state, right? Like she's staying in Virginia.
Yeah, I think it's the same city if I remember correctly, but I'm not 100% sure. Good morning, Lisa from Texas. It's good to have you. We have been attempting to put our glue twos together of the Village Puzzle Mystery Quilts. And I tried to be done by 9 and I almost made it. All
Did
right. Assuming I didn't
Denise
mess
said,
this up.
sorry. I'll just read this out because the answer is yes. Denise said, I understand there's a great quilt museum in Harrisonburg. Yes, there is. Pat Sloan, I think, just visited it. I'll stop talking so they can see the clue.
Yep. All right. So this is the second part of the clue. Very interesting. I don't know how this is all going to go together, but that's the fun of the thing. And then the first part is hiding. Where did I put it?
I don't know. Do you need
That's
coffee
the
too?
first. Oh, here it is. Looks very similar to the first clue. There we go. So there we go. Yeah, so I did manage to finish it, which is great. You'll get to see these all again tomorrow morning on the podcast, which is awesome. And then you have a podcast, which is now going to be on Tuesdays, correct?
Correct. I have pulled the Band-Aid on that, definitely doing weekly vlogs, and I am calling them podcasts similar to what you're doing because I kind of like the way that sounds. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of borrowed the idea and the format and everything else from the knitting YouTube community because every woman and a dog has a podcast, and I just like I like the sound of podcasts as well because yeah, it is what it is. So I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up because I do need to go and get my hair cut. It is getting long and unmanageable, even though it is starting to fall out. On the top, you know, good old male pattern baldness is a thing. That's the one thing my mother gave me.
Believe you just said that.
Hey, it is what it is, you know. We keep it real here. So
Okay.
never know what I'm going to tell you. All right. Do you have anything else coming up that you want to promote, tell anyone about?
No, I think my brain isn't working right now, and I feel like I would do a really bad job of explaining it. So what I will tell you to do is tune in on Tuesday for the podcast, where I will be properly caffeinated and happy to spill all of the details.
Yeah, yeah, definitely check out Becca's channel. She has a wonderful channel. If you like My Live, you'll love hers on Friday night. I know most of you already watch it, but if you don't, definitely go do that. It's 8 p.m. Eastern. She has a wonderful podcast on Tuesday, which I love watching myself. I'm so glad to see others starting podcasts because when I started, nobody was doing them. Like, well, I guess someone has to start this. So I'm glad that the others are starting to jump on board and do that because I love seeing what everyone else is up to, and it's nice just to get it all in one little condensed version. So I think we will go ahead and say goodbye because I do need to run away. But thank you so much for joining me, Becca. Thank you for bearing with me during all the technical issues. And we will catch up with you soon. And yeah, if you didn't catch earlier, are going to do a collab together, the Pandas and Sweater by Elizabeth Hartman. We're going to start that in early May. So if you want to join us, we'd love to have you join us. We'll just show our updates on our weekly podcast. But yeah, definitely grab the pattern, grab some fabrics, dumpster dive into your scraps bin if you want. That's what I'm planning on doing. And hang out with us as well. So that's going to be great. So yeah, I think if I don't hit the end button, we'll never will. It's just how it goes. We'll let Becca go get caffeinated. And yeah, for those that are doing the So Yeah thing this afternoon, I hope you all have a great time with that. And we'll see you all next video. Have a great day and thanks for joining us.
Bye, guys.
Bye.